What's going on, man?
What's up?
This is so funny.
I know,
So,
right?
this is gonna be a video. So obviously, you guys know that Mike and I we work closely together, and we have our own clients that we coach. But we're basically in communication every day. Um, Mike is still my coach, so he's someone that I always look up to, someone that I always turn to for support. And but we're encountering a lot of the same sort of issues in this whole coaching thing, and we sort of want to address certain things. So one of the biggest things is calories. So Mike, what do you want to talk about in terms of calories?
Um, the thing with calories, it's like I feel like people get a little hung up as far as when it's time to eat, like just the choices. They get a little turned around, a little flip backwards and forward about what you choose when it's time to eat. And basically, you just eat food. Like you eat the same things that you've been eating. It's just during a compressed time as far as food, but you start your day a little later than most. So it's really no different.
Yeah. So I get the same issues too. Like they'll, I have a lot of folks that say, Didi, what do I eat? What do I eat now? And for me, I try to compile like all this information and give them this like package that's called like the blueprint. And then also when I give out the macros, there's another little excerpt that talks about, don't focus so much on your macros, hitting them perfectly. Just focus on the staying within the caloric deficit. So, um, so what do you eat? You eat food, right?
Yeah,
You eat the foods
same
that
stuff
you
with me.
like, because like this is not like I think a lot of people are still caught up into thinking that this is a diet
Yeah,
and that they have to have a certain amount of, I don't know, a certain amount, but like they can't eat like certain food types, they can't eat this, they can't eat that. This is restriction free.
yeah, yeah. It's no, it's not based on like traditional things. Like you just pick the nutrients that your body needs and just go from there. Like it's not a thing of I think people are confused about the time. As far as like, okay, if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's quote unquote breakfast, do I grab like a Pop Tart and a donut? Or do I eat like chicken and potatoes? You just pick what you like. It's really about freedom. Like if we did it any differently, it'd be like anything else, you know? You
Yeah.
just stay free with your choices and just pick things that most people know what the nutritious foods are. When you really think about it, they know like the things that they should eat to get the nutrition that they need. It's just I think the timing throws people off. And it's just you really need to just understand that like just eat like normal when your feeding window starts. Whatever you crave or whatever you have available in your hand, as long as you made the right choices as far as like market and protein sources, carb sources, fat sources, veggies, usual stuff.
Yep. I think that a lot of folks are still caught up into thinking, you know, I always tell them, unless you're gonna be a fitness competitor, don't focus so much on hitting those macronutrient numbers perfectly. I don't hit them perfectly every day.
And we know I don't.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't. But the reality is that, you know, if you're eating nutritiously dense foods, then you're gonna be kind of close in your macronutrient numbers. Um,
Okay.
you're gonna hit your protein if you're gonna, if you eat healthy, good proteins, good fats, good carbs, you're gonna hit them good. But when we say, eat whatever you like, sure, eat whatever you like, but keep in mind that you still somewhat have to meet these requirements. Um, so your body can function properly, so that you can have energy, so you can be able to do your workouts, you can be able to live your life and have normal functions. So talking about normal functions, I actually wanted to bring up, if you're having any issues with your clients with constipation.
That's a good question. I haven't had too many folks come to me with that particular issue as of yet. I don't know if, because most folks don't love veggies, but I'm assuming that they're taking those things in. So maybe that's kind of blocking that from happening, but I haven't had much of that. At least that I'm told. And that's another thing too, like as coaches, we are here to provide a service. We're here to help them through this journey. So it's really important that our clients let us know what's going on. Because if they don't let us know, we won't know. But as far as that, I haven't heard anything yet. What about you?
Yeah, well, I have, and I think that when yeah, I know that we don't track veggies because we call them.
Okay, thank you. I'm here.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So as far as like the fact that we don't have to track veggies, I hope that folks are eating enough veggies to get the fiber into their diet. I noticed the folks that are complaining about constipation are the ones that I don't see yogurt, the good probiotics, the good those good cultures that they need. I see folks that I don't see any fruit in their diet, in their logs, and and then that's a red flag for me. It's like, okay, well, you're eating, the majority of foods are, greasy foods, all that good stuff. I mean, that is nothing wrong with having that, but if it's causing you problems, then you want to adjust your diet.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about macros, and macros matter, but we're very loose with it. It doesn't have to be. I see folks the beginning, before I started to inform people, like, listen, you don't really have to hit these macros perfectly. I had folks that were coming under in calories because they were like, oh, I hit my macros perfectly, because they were looking at that pie chart. Like, do you have any issues with like that whole pie chart thing?
Yeah, I've been addressing it as of late because I find that a lot of the clients don't know that you have to hit that nutrient tab to get the actual total. The pie chart is basically, it's just a graphic representation of the macros that you're currently eating and not your day's total. So like theoretically, you can hit the percentages perfect, but your calories will still be off because it's not all of the food for the day. So, and I get it. Like the whole, you want that pie chart to look good. You want that thing to be like lined up perfectly. It's fun when it happens, but that's like a side benefit. The main thing is staying in a deficit and getting that nutrition, getting it right. So I think a lot of the clients really have to just check that nutrient tab and, don't even focus on the pie chart.
Yeah.
Because it really throws you off if that's all you see.
I had a client that she put in an apple, and then it said like she was over her carbs for the day. One apple. She's like, what am I supposed to eat now? I went over my carbs. What do I do? I'm like, oh my God, like, don't freak out, dude. Like, this is why we're here to help you. But can you imagine, like, you put in one item and you're thinking, oh my God. So guys, the message here is don't look at the pie chart. Just don't. Look at the nutrient tab. That's going to be your best friend. And that's going to lead me into another segue that it's really, really important. And as of late, we've been addressing it. I noticed that you've been putting it on your MyFitnessPal. I've been sort of pushing it as well. And that's that whole, like, that whole 7-day window that you have to consume your calories or whatever.
So the weekly calorie balance, right?
Yep, the weekly calorie balance.
One thing I wanted to interject is when you set that up, like, you should definitely make sure that the week starts on a Monday. Because I think the default setting is every 7 days. And that can throw you off. So like when you check the weekly settings, make sure that you go in the settings and actually set the week to Monday. So that way it'll
Monday to Monday,
what'll end up happening, it'll be a Monday to Sunday schedule.
Okay. That makes sense.
Sunday to the end of the week, and you just start the cycle over and over and over.
Okay.
So we take in the weight and measurements on Monday, it balances out. It keeps everything kind of in a streamlined fashion.
Yeah. I've always been just looking at it from like, 7 days, 7 days. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Not like
yeah.
yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So,
because it keeps it organized. Because like that way, each week you know exactly like where your targets are. So like let's say Tuesday you go over a little,
mhm,
Thursday you balance it out, go under a little, but you know at the end of the week, as long as you look at the furthermost right column and you look at
mhm,
that average and you're right around where you're supposed to be, you're in a good place. So like
yeah.
if you go over a little bit in a day, don't stress about it. Even if you go a little under, like you can always eat up some to get close to the number.
So obviously we know that it takes 7 days for a fat loss to happen.
Hmm.
Um, we don't know where that came from. It's just science.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just the way it is. So, again, like Mike said, want to repeat what you said, Mike. You can come down, you can eat a little bit less one day because let's say you're not hungry or whatever the case may be, or because you want to bank calories because you have an event coming up, if you have something that's pre-planned. The weekends, I talked about that. We actually together compiled information about that. That on
yeah,
the weekends are kind of tough for folks. They want to have alcohol, they want to have
yeah,
fun, and that's totally okay.
yeah. And
But
it's
if you know,
doable.
yeah, it's
It's
doable.
very doable.
Yeah. So, but you got to plan ahead, and it
Yeah,
takes some discipline.
yeah,
Like, if you want to like come down and like not eat, 50 calories, 70 calories, from Monday to Friday because you want to use all these, you want to bank all this up to eat on, on Saturday. You can do that. That's okay.
yeah. I feel as though that definitely has to be controlled
Yeah.
because you don't want it to get to a point where it's so you bank so many calories that you almost turn the weekend into like cheat days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it has to be in a sense where like if that's gonna happen, like they should definitely check with us and kind of if you want a strategy, you got something going on, let us know. Maybe we can help you put together something that will keep you in balance and you don't have to stress about your upcoming event.
Yeah.
Yeah, because ultimately we want people to live their lives and things happen. You want to go out, you want to have fun, and we both have shown that you can do that without sacrificing your diet. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So that's great. And let me just see here what things that we had to talk about. Um, so some issues about folks that are eating now and tracking later.
Okay. Hmm.
Um, so for me, I know personally that if I don't do something at the moment, I'm gonna forget.
Yeah.
So for me, I like to pre-plan things. Not necessarily like if I know I'm gonna break my fast, I don't necessarily plan what I'm gonna break my fast with because again, I've been doing this for a while, and but also because I know that I have all these calories to play around with. I haven't had anything to eat yet, so
Yeah.
I know that I can go to like Fuddruckers and have a burger and fries,
And
and
yeah.
I'm still gonna be good because I've got
Mhm.
all these calories. I haven't touched anything yet. But if you had your first meal already, and then you are like, you go to a restaurant and then you eat, and then you track after, like you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you
Because you
like?
just
What do you think? Yeah,
you just don't know. It's like, okay, maybe this will fit, maybe this won't. And by
yeah.
the end of the day, it's like, all my
Like,
fat is
what?
gone. All my
Only
carbs
15
are gone. Like,
calories.
what am I
Like,
gonna do? So
yeah,
one rule of thumb that I like to have, and I like to try to emphasize this, have at least one meal in a day that you can control. If you can just get that one solid meal in where you kind of maybe you can cook it yourself, you have more control over how many carbs, how much protein, how much fat. And if you gotta wing the rest of it, you already got that solid base of food down. So if you don't hit it perfectly the rest of the day, that's okay. But at least have that one meal that you know that you have the ingredients for and that you can plan for. And that just makes it so much more simple because life is gonna happen. And you
mhm.
can't sit home and cook every single thing. Like some people can, but some people just don't have that luxury.
Yep. And so that leads me to the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and that's about guesstimating.
Yeah.
And I think that, and actually that's a real word because it's not autocorrected when I put it into my phone. And the very first time I heard about guesstimation was from you, which was really funny. I'm like, oh, just guesstimate.
Yeah.
And one of my clients was like, is that even a word? I'm like, hell yeah, it's a word. It's a real word. So I had a video that I shared with you and I shared with my clients about, that you do, like you were saying, you have more control when you make your own home cooked meals.
Yeah.
But we're humans, we got shit going on. We can't always cook all of our meals. That's a given. We understand that. But when you eat out, what do? So for a lot of people, the biggest struggle is when they go to restaurants, like a mom and pop's place, a local joint that's not a franchise. How do they track their foods if that place doesn't have like a nutrition information? That's a little challenging for some folks. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I really think that, like, rule number one, you can't stress about it, because in a situation like that, you're not gonna get it 100%. All you can really do is you can pretty much just eyeball the portions. Pick foods that are easy to kind of guesstimate with too. Like, go with simple carb sources, pastas, rice, things that you eat on a regular basis, so you kind of get a feel for what the macros may or may not be. Like a simple, like a stir fry, or like a chicken breast, maybe like a little steak or something like that. Something that you can easily look at and kind of guesstimate. So, like, like a broccoli, like one veggie, a starch, and a meat. If you can keep it, the simpler the meal is, the easier it is to guesstimate.
Absolutely. For me, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry, there's one more thing I just wanted to get out. Liquid calories. Like, it should be a given to know to minimize those, but especially like when you eat out, it's hard enough to guess the food. And then if you gotta guess, if you gotta track a juice, that it's just empty calories that your body don't even really need.
Yeah. Good point. I always say, and actually I haven't stressed it enough to my clients, that not to drink your calories unless like I mentioned in my video before, if you're someone that's having a hard time hitting your macros because you're just you're not hungry. The naked juices are great because they have a lot of like nutrients and protein and all that good stuff. But if you're someone that is having a hard time utilizing making the best of the macros that you have, the amount of calories you have, then you shouldn't be drinking your calories. You shouldn't be having apple juice and grape juice and stuff like that, like regular soda. There's nothing wrong with diet soda. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually given to diabetics, people that have insulin sensitivity.
Right,
So definitely, like, the accent. The thing is, it's not bad for you. There's no research to support that diet soda causes any harmful, things to your body, other than, possibly causing you to have some, dental issues if you don't brush your teeth properly. You know what I mean? Because of the sugars. Other than not the sugars, but just the chemicals, whatever it is. But it's not going to cause anything wrong with your body. If you drink diet soda, whatever. The thing is, when you start to have I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit and talk about when I go to a mom and pop's joint. If I'm gonna have a steak and cheese, for example, which I haven't had one in a long time, but if I'm gonna have a steak and cheese, I'm probably gonna log one from like Domino's Pizza, and maybe add like another half of it, so I'll have like a 1.5 servings of it to give myself a little bit more calories, like a little bit more cushion. But that steak and cheese can very well be a little bit under, but that's the thing. It's like when you eat out, it's a little bit of a struggle because you might be losing out on calories. And I have a client who I was telling you about the oxtail. So very funny story, really quick. So I love her so much. She's so amazing. She got some oxtail. Her husband cooks oxtail all the time, and so she weighed her oxtail out. It was a certain amount. Then she ate it, and then she went back and she weighed the bones, and she deducted from the amount that she tracked the bones because she was like, I didn't eat the bones. So like, what? I was like, she is smart. Like that is so smart when you think about it.
Talk about getting the most calories for your budget.
She was not playing. She was like, I didn't eat the bones, so guess what? I'm only gonna track the meat, not the bones. I'm like, you go, like
that's genius.
You know
that is
mean?
Genius.
But the reality is, when you eat out, you don't have control of what's going on unless it's like, a place where like it's a franchise. Because most franchise places, they do have their macros online in the database. But when you look for something in the database, if you're gonna eat at a mom and pops, again, I can't stress that enough. Just plug something in. At least you're tracking something. Having a blank diary.
Yeah, all in the name of you're almost too afraid to log it because you don't know what the calories are going to be. And if you fall into that mindset, it's a source of unneeded stress.
Yeah.
And the whole point of this particular diet is to eliminate the stress that people commonly associate with diet. Yeah. So you really just want to take that stress away from yourself and just guess. This whole thing it's almost like it's a science, and sometimes this science is not exact, but as long as you're in the ballpark, as long as you're close and you're consistently doing the things that you should be doing, things are going to go in the right direction. And it's really no need to get bent out of shape like, oh my god, like my fat it's over about 1 gram, I'm gonna fail, I'm such a failure. Like, no. You're doing something that 9 times out of 10 you've never done before with this whole tracking thing and intermittent fasting. Like, all of these things are new. So be kind to yourself. Give yourself room to make little changes in there. Give yourself room to experiment, because that's all this really is one big experiment. Yeah. So enjoy it.
Absolutely. And going back to what you said in the beginning is like, reach out to us. Ask us questions.
Definitely.
But with that, it's a little, for me anyways, it could be a little challenging because when I give out information, I expect folks to read it. And we give out a lot of information. Like, we post a lot of things in MyFitnessPal. So also folks need to hold themselves accountable in this whole process. Yeah. We as coaches, we are busy, we have lives, we have things going on, we have jobs, other jobs. I have kids and dogs and cats. So, we have things going on. So if you're going to ask a question, make sure that it's a question that's not from something that we've already given you. Make sure that when you see something on MyFitnessPal, that you are reading the material. When I give you something, when you sign on, make sure that you're reading something, because I shouldn't be getting questions, 2 weeks into this, what time should I fast from?
Yeah. Yep.
Which has happened, and it could be a little frustrating because it's like, okay, what do you mean? It's like, oh, well, I'll wake up at 6 o'clock. What time should I break my fast? You're like a week or 2 weeks into this, or even you're starting off on a Monday, and I give you all the material to read over the weekend, and you're asking me what time you're gonna, you break your fast, when that's one of the first things on my blueprint that says you fast between 4 to 7 hours upon waking up. So I wake up at 6 o'clock most days, so I can break my fast at 10 o'clock. That's my short time. That's 4 hours. A little bit longer, 7 hours, is around 1 p.m. Right? Some days I can go a little bit longer than that. Some days I can go, some days, but the ballpark is 4 to 7 hours upon waking up.
Right.
That's just.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because then sometimes you get into an issue of, if a little bit of fast time is good, then like a lot of fast time, I'm gonna burn hella fat. Like, I'm gonna fast till like 10 o'clock at night. But it doesn't work like that. It's like, if you if you feel like your stomach is eating itself from the inside out, and you're kind of holding on to that just so you could burn that extra bit of fat and stay in that fasted state, like you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Like you make it work for your lifestyle. You don't shotgun it. You don't try to push it because you think you're gonna get better results. You keep it within the time frame and you make it work. Now, me personally, I normally wake up around 7ish. And you know, some days, depending on my schedule, I may break my fast at 1. But depending on what I got going on, I may not be able to get to food until my first break at work, which is around 5. But, you know, granted, I've been doing this for a long time, and I know what my body can handle in regard to the fasting. And I keep it flexible. But it's not an issue of like extending the fast to as long as humanly possible. You want to be comfortable through this whole process. And you may get waves of hunger, but when you're first starting out, it's your body's way of adjusting to this whole process. So, you know, you hydrate yourself, you're going about your day, but like, don't break your neck in the essence of trying to like force this thing into a round hole, like a square peg into a round hole. Like, don't stress out. Just follow the blueprint. Your blueprint is very comprehensive. You know, I've looked at it, and it's like everything you need to know is right there. You just got to take the responsibility and read it, because it makes it easier for all of us when the information is being read and also applied.
Yeah.
You get the results you want, and we get the satisfaction of knowing that we're providing great service and helping you compile this information, because it's difficult.
It really is. You know, there are times where, you know, actually, let me go on a segue and talking about let's see. Oh yeah, so again, so what you were saying about, you know, the whole fasting thing. I've got my contact is like bothering me. So, you know, a lot of people want to take things that are so simple. Like, well, our approach is very simple: intermittent fasting and being flexible dieting. It's called flexible dieting for a reason. And the whole intermittent fasting thing, again, is to make this more enjoyable, make this process, like you were saying, as, you know, basically as painless as possible. Having the 6 to 8 small meals a day, you know, killing yourself with cardio, eating the foods, you know, prepping meals, doing this, doing that, like all these things, as we've been able to prove to you guys, is unnecessary. You know, a lot of my clients are getting a lot of amazing results. Your clients are getting great results. So we know this stuff works. Sometimes I think when folks get something so simple like this, they want to overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? Like they see it, it's like, okay, well, it can't be that, you know, it can't be that simple. There must be much more to it. So I think that's when they take the approach of like, okay, if, you know, they know that their body starts to burn more fat, you know, when they're in that fasted state. So they're thinking, okay, let me go longer. Let me go, you know, as a badge of honor, like you said.
Twice the fat.
Yeah, like, you know, it's only like the cardio effect too. If I do 45 minutes of cardio to burn fat, if I do 2 hours of cardio, I'm gonna burn more fat, and it's better. It's like anything to the extreme is not better for you. If you're miserable, yeah.
It's almost like, good job, like you did so great. Like,
no, it's a slow clap. And you know, for me, you know, I come from a background of having a, you know, the Polar watch. And I used to always post it on Instagram. And folks that have followed me for a while, they know that I used to post that, like, I burned, you know, 700 something calories in like, you know, 45 minutes or like in 50 something minutes. And to me, I look at that, I look back on my Instagram and I just laugh because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know, you know, I was putting my body through so much stress. No wonder it was so crabby all the time. Like, it wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't good. Okay, so one of the biggest things, again, I'm gonna reiterate it again, is reach out to your coaches. Like, you know, once you've read all the material, you know, once you know, if you're on MyFitnessPal, everyone, all you guys, you know, you're embarking in a journey that's gonna require you to do some work. This is easy, but it's going to require you to do some work, right? So one of the biggest jobs that you have is to be a student, right? To be a constant student. We're constant students. You know, Mike and I are always doing research and bouncing things back and forth to each other. But whenever we post something on MyFitnessPal, we have taken time to compile research for you guys, so you guys can be amazing at this. You know, if you don't read it, we know because you're asking questions of things that we posted, right? So if you're vested in this approach, take the time. Like, you don't have to read it right away. Take a screenshot of it, because I know it's gonna start to die down eventually. Take a screenshot of it and then read it later on. That's pretty cool. The videos, you don't have to watch them right away. You can watch them whenever you have the time. You know, people are at work, people are doing stuff. You know, that's fine. But we're giving you information to help you, because eventually you're not gonna have us forever. You know, some people may renew with us, sure, that's fine. We don't have an issue with that. But eventually, the whole point of this is to be self-sufficient.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the same exact thing. Like, we're trying to teach you a life skill. It's more than just fitting into a dress by a certain amount of time. Well, I got a cruise to go on. I need to look good for this cruise. Like, that stuff, those things are great. But ultimately, we want you to have control over your body composition at will. And not too many people can say realistically that they have that. So by taking in the information, by really applying the things that you read, like, this skill can be yours. It's yours for the taking. It's just like, all you have to do is put in that initial work, and you'll have it. You'll have it. And it's like, we really just want to make sure that you can get the process down and just enjoy it. Just really, like, sink your teeth into it and know that, like, you got people here to help you, and also you nail it. You can just get it down and just nail it. And it's not that hard. It's just like, all the pieces are there. You just got to take in what's being given to you.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about also, about spacing meals. So I know that initially it's hard whenever you have, you know, a certain amount of calories to work with. I know, Mike, you have like 3,000 million calories to work with. You ain't got no problems. You know about the struggle life, being on a struggle bus with macros. So for me, you know, my amount of calories is so damn low. And I know that I have folks that are even lower amount of calories. But like you were saying, you know, for a female, and I want you to kind of talk a little bit about that if you don't mind, about why our calories are a lot less than males.
Okay. Yeah. See, just by the nature of women being smaller than men, since your bodies are smaller, you just burn less calories. Like, you take up, it's less space, it's less energy for your body to have to go through. So just by default, like, me and you, we could eat the same meal, and like, you'll be over your calories and I'm just getting started. And that's just, unfortunately, you guys just get the short end of the stick with that. And like, I feel for you. It's difficult. I know it's difficult, but like, through proper planning, you can still get those foods in that you like. It just takes a little bit of strategy. It can still be done.
Yeah. And, you know, with the video that I did before about like how I bank my calories, you know, I look at calories as like money in the bank. So for me, I'm going to spend it wisely, and I'm going to strategically plan my meals or my day around the amounts that I have of foods to eat. Yeah. I'm someone that I like to go to bed full. Mm-hmm. I don't like to go to sleep on an empty stomach. I would eat maybe about half an hour before I knock out. Sometimes an hour, depends. For some people, they're like, no, I can't. I don't like that feeling of being full and going to sleep full. Everybody's different, which is fine. Yeah. But for me, I don't like my stomach rumbles, and I don't like it to rumble at night. It just bothers me. So what do I have to do? Obviously, when I do my fast, I gotta make sure that the foods that I choose to eat are gonna be lower in calories, but are gonna be satisfying. So then I can push my meals later on and kind of spread them out. Because one thing that a lot of people get caught up when they get into this and embark this journey is how many meals a day can I have?
Yeah.
You can have as many as you want. It all
very
depends.
flexible.
Yeah, very flexible. It depends on, again, being strategic about it. How do you live your life? How, are you a nighttime, do you like to have a piece of cake at night? Do you like to have some ice cream at night? Plan your meals according to what you enjoy and how, to live your life. So for me, I like to have a meal half an hour to about an hour before I go to bed. And then it could be even a yogurt. It could be, I gotta eat something. So, I know in the beginning, some folks have issues with they'll eat up the first meal. They'll have almost all their calories for that one meal. And then it'd be like
poverty macros by the end of the night.
Poverty macros. I mean, serious poverty macros.
Yeah. And I've been there. I've done it.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. But, when you're starting off, you definitely want to make sure that you keep that in check. Obviously it's a learning process, a learning curve. But at 4 p.m., if you're someone that is expecting to have dinner with your family and you've already eaten all your macros, at your break at lunchtime, what are you gonna eat?
Yeah. It's almost I almost find it easier to make that first meal a little lighter, because you never know what the rest of the day holds in store. Somebody could call you up and say, hey, we're gonna meet for dinner, or you may have an impromptu business thing. Or 9 times out of 10, things come up in the evening more so than during the day. If you have a traditional work schedule, lunch is a little more controllable, but dinner can get chaotic and get a little crazy, calorie wise.
Yeah.
So make it a point to just kind of save that money so you can spend heavier later in the day. Save those calories so that you can spend those calories later in the day. And that, I find that helps myself, and I'm sure that'd be very helpful for most people, because dinner time you spend it with your family, or just there are a lot more social events in the evening. Not too much in the daytime. So make that small sacrifice and just bank those calories.
Absolutely. I know that in the beginning for me, it took me a few days. And then after that, I kind of ate the same foods.
Yeah.
I ate the same foods because I knew that those same foods were going to get me where I needed to be. And when I started working with you, I knew that I wanted it so bad. I was so sick of doing the whole. I mean, I was, what I've done. I mean, I've been there, done that. I was just dude, I'm tired of these shakes. I'm tired of these supplements. I'm tired of getting up in the morning to do cardio.
Yeah.
Getting up to do cardio in the morning, let me tell you, man. And then in the evening to go lift weights. I mean, it was just too much. It was just way too much. So when you came into my life, I was like, all right, you know what? I want this so bad. I want to lose body fat so bad. And I want to, I'm always in the gym. I don't look like I'm always in the gym. I wanted to look fit and feel good and be strong, but it just, the other approaches was so hard. So, when I started realizing and started getting these macros kind of perfectly with potato and pre-measured beef patties, pre-measured turkey patties, that's kind of where I started to continue to eat the same foods. And I was okay with it because I knew that I wanted this so bad. And I think that sometimes we have to make these small sacrifices. I'm not sure you can eat whatever you want. But if it's working for you, what is going on back there?
I'm just checking the time. I'm just saying,
Oh, okay. How much time are we in?
No, we're good. I'm just getting my location in the moment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, they're closing up?
In a few, I believe.
Okay, so that's fine. So, I mean, I guess we can wrap up by just saying, I guess, what do you want to say as a wrap up?
Basically, I just want to let everybody know that we're all still growing and we're all still learning, myself included. you included, and like basically just keep the process as stress-free as possible, and know that you had two coaches that are really invested in your success. We want to see you succeed because it's so many people out here struggling to try to get this thing nailed down and get it right. And you know, this is almost like the golden ticket if you do the work. It's so easy once you get it down. Like, you're definitely a testament to that. I would like to say myself that I put in the work, and it's pretty visible, and it's very doable for everybody going through this process. So like, just let us help you, and have fun with it.
Yeah. And the same thing I want to say too with I know that you have to go. You know, don't stress over the little things. Don't stress over, oh my God, I stole a French fry from my son. Do I track it? No, like, don't track it. You know what I mean? Like,
You little thief.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if this is stressing you out, you're not doing it right. If this is stressing you out and you're not reaching out to your coaches, you're not doing it right. You know, although, like I said in the beginning, you know, Mike and I, we have our individual clients, we still come together and support our folks. We don't care. You know, if his client needs some support, I'll come on a call with his client. Same thing with me. You know, he's been able to come in a call with my clients as well. We're two people that have been through it. We've done it. We're doing it. We're a living testament to it. We believe in it. We enjoy it. And we want you guys to be, you know, to feel supported, to know that you guys can come to us with any questions and concerns and things like that. You know, I see a lot of people that they hold back for whatever reason because they feel like they failed. They feel like that day was horrible. They had a horrible day. They ate terrible, and they don't even want to track. They don't even want to reach out to us.
And just to cut you off for a second, I've actually had clients who didn't log out of fear because they feel like, you know, they let it down, like they just blew out their calories for the day. And no, like, just, you know, this is in a science experiment. You collect data. You don't have an emotional attachment to the things that happen. You collect the data, and we make the changes as, you know, as Tom sees fit. So don't be afraid. Like, if you go over, like, it's fine. We can help you figure out a strategy to keep you around balance. It's not the end of the world. Like, just, you know, talk to us and communicate with us. And it's really that simple because we're here to help.
Great point. That's a great point. Well, we gotta go. We'll talk via phone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to like get this up and running and get it up tonight. And I'll give you the link.
Okay.
Night, man.
All right.
Bye-bye.